He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another story time. Hey, Ange fam, and welcome to the baby shower. So, anyway, at this point in time, I'm working at Walmart. And once I accepted the fact that I am going to have a baby, um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, like the response was a little different, so to speak. When I say mixed, I won't say mixed. I mean everybody else was, I mean, a lot of people was basically saying, it's like, oh girl, it's gonna be hard because parenting is hard. It is hard. Having a baby is hard, and they don't talk about that. They just fantasize a lot of stuff. And as I said in the previous stories, we have to learn to unlearn because they don't tell you how hard parenting is, and parenting doesn't stop at 18. Please do not be fooled by that. It doesn't stop at 18. You are parenting until that child is going on to glory before you, or until you go on to glory. You are parenting. It does not stop. It does not stop. It does not stop. They tell you like, oh, 18 they're legal. Yeah, I mean they may be, so to speak, legal, but parenting doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Anyway, so yeah, so it's hard. Like it, even like your pregnancy, like they fantasize that too. You know how you see like the girls on the pictures, and you like they fantasize all that stuff. They commercialize it to make it look like it's this wonderful thing, and when in reality, sometimes like you're going to be sick as a dog and you can't keep nothing down. Luckily, I didn't even know the kid was baking for the first 4 months, to be totally honest. I mean the first five, because I found out when I was 5 months pregnant. I was 5 months when I found out I was pregnant. So I ain't know. I ain't know. I ain't know. Anyway, um, yeah, so they don't tell you like the reality of it, and they don't tell you like your pregnancy may or may not be hard. And like I said, I didn't experience like the sickness or anything like that. What I did experience the sickness when I went into labor. I was throwing up every 5 minutes. When I went into labor, excuse me, I was throwing up every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, I was throwing up. The contractions, horrible, horrible. It was, but I would say I manage it well, but that's because I have a high tolerance for pain, which is something that nobody should be able to brag about, but I do. And the most I wanted was my mom to like rub my back or whatever. Yeah, but they don't tell you like the truth of it, of how like my body swole. Like I was too 215. Like I think my last one was like 215, because I carried and retained so much fluid. When I walked, I can feel the water in my feet move because I had so much fluid on my body, and my neck was black, my nose was covered over my whole face. Like y'all, it was, oh my god. If I can find some pictures, I really, because all of those pictures were in Ty's baby book, and I don't have Ty's baby book at all either. So I had like 4 or 5 photo albums that was destroyed. I wish I had my pictures, but yeah, if I will look to see if I can find one where it's like you can see my face, like at the pictures of the baby shower, because that was all in his book. That was all in his book. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, they don't tell you all that stuff. Like they just give you the commercialized version of like this is going to be happy. And even when it comes down to the men, they don't teach men like how to adjust. Like we get excited and you playing, but you don't they don't teach men how to adjust, where like you got to get up in the middle of the night too when this baby is not sleeping and they don't have a schedule and they don't know day from night. You know what I'm saying? They don't know day from night. And or when the baby is sick and they can't tell you what's hurting and all they doing is screaming in the middle of the night. Like they don't give you any kind of manual to this stuff, and so we all gotta wing it. But anyway, like I said, the response was kind of mixed, and I really won't say mixed. The response was really good to the people that mattered and the people who really liked me. The people who were upset was the people like most of the older ladies who, to be totally honest, the older ladies who was upset that I was pregnant was the ones who was speculating that one of the leaders was the baby daddy, and you was mad because you wanted the Kim. Let's just be real. You want to Kim. It wasn't about none of that, none of oh my God, and she set him up and all the BS he was telling y'all. It was a simple fact that he didn't come in your house in the middle of the night, or he didn't invite you at his place in the middle of the night. That was the issue. That was the issue. Because most of the time, when any of that stuff went down, when the ladies was coming and saying, "Oh, I was at his house, and oh, we had relation in outside of the church, and he's lying," y'all were the main ones going hard for that man, and we said, "Oh, she lying, she gotta go," because every lady who said that, who said it out loud, because there's one that's still there. I don't know if she's still there, but when I left, she was still there, and you still was being kind of crazy in my DM. It was like, girl, what? Yeah. Yeah. It was like, yeah, you're tripping. You're tripping. Anyway. So yeah. So they don't give you like a preview to the coming attraction of what's really gonna happen. They give you a commercialized version to make you think like this is gonna be all peaches and cream, one nice happy family, no emotions, no nothing involving, even after the postpartum that you may or may not go through. Cause it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And then when they start growing up and start trying to figure out motor skills and then starting to figure out like, oh, I can push this to see how far it's gonna go, and then be smart at the mouth, and you gotta control your emotions to not overgo with their emotions and not knock the out of them, because kids will try you, they smart as all get out. Smart as all get out and will hurt you, will hurt you. Will hurt you. Yes, will hurt you. Don't care nothing about your feelings at all. All they care about is theirs. I promise you. Yeah. So you have to balance all that out. Anyway, so the response was mixed, but I kind of tuned out the ones who was upset about, oh, okay, yeah, she's pregnant, and focused on the ones that was excited or whatever. But this one particular lady, she's my coworker. We gonna call her Miss Mary. Miss Mary, like we had, I won't say, I mean, we had like a rapport, like we was cool, like we was coworkers, but it wasn't like this ecstatic relationship, like, oh, I gotta see Miss Mary, hey Miss Mary, nothing like that. It was like, hey, how you doing or whatever. Like she knew if she was close to me, most of the time she wasn't on the belt, she was on 20 items or less. At this point in time, we had 20 items or less. Public still had 20 items or less. And I heard the girl while I was in public, she was like, it has to be 20 items or less. She turned that lady away. Walmart? No, baby, they can come with a big buggy and you got to ring up that stuff on this little ass shelf of a station and ring them up. And they knew you couldn't turn them away. And most of the time, like your 20 items or less, like if somebody wasn't over there, you were free. And the people who were on a belt, because you had a lot of groceries, they would come over there and I would give them the look. She was like, sorry, oh, I didn't see the sign. You did see the sign, ho. Because where it's self checkout now, those were 20 items or less. You saw it. And our manager was like, well, you can't turn them away. And it would be dope where I would have some customers, especially when I worked 20 items or less, especially when I was pregnant, I was always on 20 items or less, because after a certain amount of time, I could only work 5 hours. I couldn't work a whole full hour shift because I kept having contractions. And so my midwife was like, you ain't got but too many times to keep having these contractions, and I'm gonna put you on full bed rest, because I was on partial bed rest. So she kind of pulled back the hours. And so when she pulled back the hours, they was like, okay, we can only put you on 20 items unless you're not gonna be on a belt no more. Cause the belt, like it's the big waters, the big bag of dog food and all that stuff. And this was before they started having a peel off sticker for you to peel it off to give it to the cashier. You had to lift that thing up so I can, scan it. And sometimes we didn't have scanners or the scanners didn't work. So you had to figure that thing on out to get it up there to, scan it. And so it would be a lot of, luckily, some of my customers, like if they were in a line and they had 20 items or less and they would see how, I'm pregnant, they would turn around and be like, it's 20 items or less. And some people would be like you would be mad, take to the belt. Anyway. But like if Miss Mary was on the belt or she was in 20 items or less with me, like it would be like a little conversation here or there, but it wasn't nothing like that for me. Like it wasn't like that for me. It wasn't like this, oh yeah, like I can't wait to see Miss Mary. You know how you have like those coworkers you look forward to working with, right? So I knew it was certain coworkers that we would have a good time. And truth be told, I ain't go front the people that I was working with at Walmart at this time, because when I started, I was working 2 to 11. And I had told them, I was like, I'm tired of working 2 to 11. And so they was like, well, that's your availability. If you open your availability, we can get you in morning. So you have to open it up from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. for them to switch it up. And they did kind of after that. But once I got pregnant, the 2 to 11 had to fall back anyway. So anyway, yeah, so it was like, it was certain coworkers that I would look forward to. And like I said, even like I had managers, most of my managers, let me see, because it was one, as I don't want to call her name, even though y'all know these people. I ain't saying nothing bad about them. Yeah. So it was Miss Della. Miss Della was my main manager. Absolutely love Miss Della. There was Adrian, Miss Pat. Miss Pat was Caucasian. Absolutely love her. We had Miss Betty. And then the other manager who was no longer here, it was Kia. We absolutely love Kia too. Kia was our CSM. Miss Della was like our head manager. She was over like the cashiers. Miss Betty, Adrian, Kia, Jeanette, all of them were my CSMs. Loved it. When I tell you loved them, that whole crew loved them. And then it was people that we worked with. It was this girl named Cassandra, is Danita, Busy Bee, and who else? It was another little girl there, and then this other girl, because she's gonna be very much in this story. What did I say? I was gonna name her child Brienne. So I'm gonna name her Brienne. Brienne is very pivotal in this story. Brienne is also in Walmart security, but I didn't give her a name. But I think I said coworker, because Brienne was the one who was like, man, ain't nobody trying to steal no time for Walmart. Ain't nobody trying to steal time for Walmart. Or she was like, that girl like you. She was the one who was trying to tell me like, you going, like, why would you say you going to dinner with her or whatever? Brienne was trying to warn me or whatever in that story. So Brienne is pivotal in this story. So anyway, so yeah, so like I was saying, like Miss Mary, it wasn't like that. So once she found out that I was pregnant, like once I started showing, because as I told y'all I think that's In Love with the Same Man. Yeah, so In Love with the Same Man, once I told y'all, like when I finally was like, okay, God, like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be a mom, I'm gonna have a baby, and my stomach swole up. Cause baby, I was flatter than I am now. Baby. Yeah. Stomach go flat. Boy, when I tell you, I was like, well, the doctors and how the doctor and the nurse, how they was looking like at my stomach and then looking at the ultrasound monitor and doing this, because he was like, you look like you're 5 months. And she was like, you're flat as the board, like literally flat as a board. When I tell you how people who don't believe in higher beings, it's your choice. And who be like, oh, I believe in science. Well, who created the science, sweets? Anyway, you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. You welcome over here. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe. You come in here with respect. I ain't got no issue with you, babe. Anyway, yeah. So to look at my stomach and to look at the monitor and know that Ty was like 5 months. I was 5 months pregnant and was not showing at all. And it was like how you was being hidden, especially like if you watched TLC. I didn't know I was pregnant. Like when that show came out, I felt so validated because I was beat down over and over that I tricked this man to have this baby. Baby, trick you for what? And I ain't want kids. I was the one who was like, removal. Can we get this money? Can you borrow it? Can you say something? Can you tell them you need it for surgery? Something. That was my idea. But no, you telling people I set you up. And anyway, so yeah, it wasn't even like that with her. But once she saw myself, she was like, "You're pregnant? You're pregnant?" She got excited, and I was like, "Yeah," because we was all standing at the podium, and those who were cashiers at Walmart, like in order for you before you go to a register, you have to go to the podium with your CSM, so your CSM will tell you which cashier, like which register you're assigned to. Because during this time, Walmart, but they still have the numbers on the cashiers, like they still have the numbers on the registers. So yeah, so you had to go to the podium to find out if you was on grocery side, if you was on GM side, and then which register you was going to. So you had to go there first. And then after you get your assignment with register you're going to, you had to go to customer service. Well, for us, you had to go to customer service so you could get your money back and you get your till, and you had to count down your till because it was a specific amount when you start off with your till. And then at the end of it, you had to do a reading. You had to get your reading, and you couldn't be over. If you was over $5, they started like writing stuff up because it's like you need to be counting. Your till need to be match your reading. You don't need to be over or above. Like you need to have a reason why. Like you need to be like something had happened. Like why is this way, right? Of what you put into the computer. Anyway. So yeah, so we all standing at the podium, and of course, like my stomach is huge now, and a lot of people is like, "Girl, you hid that." Dude, that little joke I was hiding because God knew. God knew. I knew ahead of time. Bye bye, so long. Farewell. That boy wouldn't have been here. Don't get me wrong. I love my boy. I do. I love my boy. Do I like the troubles and trials that I had to go through? Absolutely cannot. But I love my boy. I do. I love my boy. We'll go to bat for my boy. People who know, I would tear you up about my boy, especially if you're doing something crazy. But I also had to find out what you do first because I know my boy is a little crazy. So I had to find out. I need both sides. Tell me what's going on first before I act a fool. But if you just beating on him, and try to act crazy, you think I'm gonna let this boy beat on me? I'm coming for you. But if I had the choice, he returned to sender. He would have went on back to glory. He would have went on back to glory with like his siblings. Nah, the siblings, I ain't had no choice. It was like they was there, and then God was like, "We're not even gonna go through this. Just send them on back. Just come on back." Basically, miscarriages. So we talked about that too. We talked about that. I just asked that foolio. I was like, "Do you feel like you missed out on having a sibling in house because he had siblings? You feel like you missed out on having siblings in house?" This fool said yes and no. I said, "Well, what's the yes part?" That fool said, "Because I ain't had nobody to blame." He said, and then no, because it would have been an extra mouth to feed. We probably would have struggled more. And I was like, they wouldn't have had the same daddy as you had. So, you know what? They might have had a shot. They might have had a shot. They wanted babies. Well, but like this. My ex-boyfriend was cool either way. Once he found out we were together when I found out I was pregnant. You know how it's that last thing. It's like we was trying to work it out, and it's that last thing where it's like that last time. It's like I'm gonna get this one last time, one last time, and then we gonna separate. And then it's like, gotcha. Yeah. And then it was like the baby left, went away, miscarried. But then I was asking this other dude, I don't even know where that's at. It's somewhere. I was asking this other dude, like, should I tell him? I shouldn't have listened to him, his dumb self. I shouldn't have told that dude nothing. I should have kept that a secret. But then the other miscarriages, we wasn't planning. We was just having a good time on repeat. And it was, if it happened, it happened. Or his words, cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah. No, anyway, yeah. Back to Miss Mary. So we was standing at the podium, like all the cashiers was, and then she saw, everybody was like, "Girl, you heard that? You heard that?" And I was like, I honestly wasn't hiding it. I just found out. It was a surprise to me. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, like and I was like, it ain't much I can do with it. Like, I'm 5 months, there ain't much I can do with it. And it was like, you just finding out, and I was like, yeah, I'm just finding out. And so the manager, I told y'all, I think that was in love with the same man too. The manager, I told y'all, I told her, I was like, don't tell nobody I'm pregnant, and I had to go to the hospital because I'm bleeding, and I wasn't bleeding, but it was like I was trying to find out how far I was. She was actually pregnant at the same time. And so she was like, girl, you really was just finding out? I was like, yeah, I just found out. She was like, you blew up overnight. It literally was like that. I wish I had ties, baby, because I could show y'all. I could literally show y'all how I was flat one day and the next day. Let me see. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna call Busy Bee and I'm gonna record her voice, and I'm gonna see if she can remember and describe that moment. So that way y'all will know I'm not lying, because I was living with Busy Bee. Busy Bee was my roommate, and I'm gonna see if she can describe how it was when I was flat one day and big the next, and see if she'll do that for me. So anyway.
Yes, ma'am. I remember one day I saw you, and it was your stomach was flat as a board. And then it had been some time, because life be life. And the next thing I know, I saw you in the buffet with them folks out to eat, and all I saw was Billy, baby, Tyler. That's all I saw, and I was like, what in the world? I mean, huge. He did that. Yes, he did that.
Yeah, so it was like I literally just blew up overnight. And so Miss Mary was like, oh my God, my baby's pregnant. My baby's pregnant. And so, we always kind of looking, because we are, like I told, like this crew, we like working together. We really like hung out with each other. Like I told y'all, we had a coworker. Her son had passed away because he ended up drowning in the pool. And so we, like, all of us couldn't be off to go to the funeral, but majority of us wanted to go. But so majority, the people who had worked with her the longest, we was like, yeah, y'all can go and y'all can support her. But when she would walk in, like walk in the store, we was all hugging her, and we was like, oh girl, like, like going crazy. Like we all were a family like that. It was like a family type feel. And this was when that's what Walmart was pushing, because Walmart was pushing like family. So they wanted you to bring in people that you know. So when the people walk in the store, it looks like family, right? So yeah, so we was looking at her. When she was like, my baby, we was looking at her like, and she started crying. So Brienne said, look at me, and I'm looking at Brienne, because like we all, around, standing around the podium, and Brienne was like, and I was like, because we didn't talk like that. Like, we didn't talk like that. We knew her, but it wasn't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't to the point where you felt like you should be ecstatic about me having a baby. So it was weird. It was weird. But you know how you don't kind of speak up on it. You just kind of, like, How you just kind of mental note. Like you look at it like, okay, yep, keep that in mental note. Okay, it's a little weird, but it's nothing. Now, mind you, because Mary has children of her own, so it's like, so anyway, so yeah, so it was like, okay, like you kind of take the mental note and go on, and so um I don't want to call her name. So one of the CSMs at the time who was standing in the photo, she was like, "Are you crying?" She was like, "Yeah." She was like, "My baby having a baby. I'm so excited. Oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. I can't wait. That baby's gonna be spoiled. You don't have to worry for nothing. Oh, I can't wait. Let me start thinking. Let me start thinking about the baby shower." And I'm the type of person, again, I'll take a mental note, but then I tune you out because it's like, I don't really think you for real. And then it's like, you just talking. You know how some of the people who, when it's a group of people, like you talk because you want the attention to be on you, like you make a scene for yourself and you're not really going to follow through. It's like, okay, yeah, yeah. You just go along. Just go along with it because it's like, yeah, that's never going to happen. So anyway, time flows on and it's getting to the point where I'm still having time goes on, and at this point in time, I'm standing at work, right? I'm standing at work and I'm having contractions. And I'm not saying anything because my midwife had already told me if I see you again, I'm gonna put you on full bed rest. Because in between the time of me finding out I had been in and out of the hospital from having contractions. And I don't think it was because I couldn't carry the baby or whatever. I really think it was stress because of who my baby daddy was, child. And the back and forth and the calling and the people and night don't say nothing and it was stressful, honey. It was stressful. Finding out like people not really wasn't my friends and these people in my face talking to me and they really don't like me. And I never understood that because if you don't like me, leave me alone, child. Leave me alone. So, like, it was stressful. And then she kept saying, she was like, you need to drink more water. You need to drink more water. And it was like, I'm drinking water. But then if I drink water, I got to pee every 2 minutes. Like, come on, got a sister a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so much. And so I'm standing, I was on 20 items or less. I'm on the grocery side. Yes, I'm on the grocery side, and I am like ringing people up, and every time the contraction go, like I'll squeeze my hand, like I'm fighting through it. And this one lady come through, you can tell like she just had a baby, and so she was, she was like, "Ooh, you're big," because I'm short. Like I look bigger than what I was. To be totally honest, I was huge because I'm also retaining fluid, and so like I'm sitting like just like pushing through it. And so she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Put a pin in that. So I'm gonna back up. So once Miss Mary find out that I'm pregnant, she's crying at the podium like we all looking at her like she crazy, and I ain't paying no attention. It's like, okay, yeah, this lady, she a little emotional. Maybe like her kids don't move out. Maybe she an empty nester. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't even my business because we don't even rock like that. For me to even think like you want to throw me a baby shower, like it was just it was weird. It was weird. It was weird. It was almost giving like lifetime. Somebody who had just lost their baby and then they stare, they kind of staring at you and they staring at your belly because they plotting to take your baby. Lifetime. So it was like that. I just kind of chopped it up to like, okay, maybe this lady's just emotional. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, so a week or two goes by because again, I'm 5 months. Week or two go by, and so she was talking. So she was like I would come in my register and find snacks, and I almost got PTSD because if you watch the story time of Walmart security, you will understand. So I was like, man, who leaving stuff on my register? And so she was like, "Oh, my baby not gonna be hungry. My baby not gonna be hungry. These are your snacks. You like this stuff. You like this stuff." Like, so it would be like juice and chips and fruit and all this kind of stuff left on my register. And I was like, so I would just put it in a bag and take them home because, like, I don't want to go back and forth to the bathroom. And I'm not really eating like that. Truth be told, it would be certain things that I would want. It would be certain things that I want. Like in the morning, I want for breakfast, I had to have an egg McMuffin meal for McDonald's. But the drink was not orange juice. It had to be a Coke. And I didn't even do Coke like that. Like the drink Coke. That sounds crazy. The drink Coca-Cola. That had to be the drink. That had to be in the morning. For lunch, it had to be a medium Papa John's pizza. If it wasn't a medium Papa John's pizza, it had to be Subway. Because at one point, Bootlicker, who was always supplying the food, which was such a shock to me of how those events turned out at the end after I had Tyler, because you were buying diapers and feeding and everything. Bootlicker at this one point, he was like, "Hey, I want close to Subway, but I went to Blimpie." Blimpie, baby, Ty was mad and I was too. I don't want this. I don't want this. That had to be for lunch. If it wasn't Papa John's, it was Subway. For dinner, it would be whatever I wanted to wing. So at this point in time, like I am cooking like crazy because Ty wanted dinner, like full meal, full meals for dinner. So very rare was I doing like junk. I wasn't doing junk. And I'm a junk monster, which is how I know it had nothing to do with me. And then in order to drink the milk, because I hate milk, I hate milk because I used to get sick and my mom used to thought I was playing, but milk used to make me throw it used to make me throw up as a kid. And I was like, I can't drink. She was like, you gonna drink that milk. And I was like, I can't do it. So people, of course, they tell you to drink milk when you get pregnant. It's like, you gotta drink milk, you gotta drink milk. The only way I could drink the milk, I had to have strawberry stuff in it, strawberry Nesquik. That powder had to be in the milk in order for me to drink it. Ty came out, he was, I need strawberry milk, mom, strawberry milk. That's the only way I could do it. That's the only way I could drink milk. Other than that, I was doing juice. That was the thing. So the stuff she was putting on my register, I wasn't really crazy about. So at home, like there was this snack, this plethora of snacks. Now I would do the fruit every once in a while, but there was just this plethora of snacks. So most of the time, Olivia, when and if we was cool, she'd be like, "Hey, can I get something?" And Busy Bee would be like, "Best friend." She would come get the snacks because she was loading me up with snacks. And so Brienne pulled me to the side as I was going on break. This is before that incident of me scanning, right? So Brienne put me to the side and Brienne was like, "Angel, you need to talk to Miss Mary." And I said, and tell her what? Because she was like, she's steady talking about how she's gonna have how she's planning your baby shower and all this stuff. And we saying, like, have you talked to Angel about this? And she was like, no. And so she was like, do you know where, Mary live? And I said, no. Like, me and Miss Mary are not cool like that. I've never been to Miss Mary's house. I don't have Miss Mary's phone number. I don't know nothing about Miss Mary like that besides we work together. And it's, hey, Miss Mary, like a co-worker rapport. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. A couple of jokes here and there. Ha ha, chicka, chicka, chicka. And that's it. Like nothing more, nothing less. And so she was like, girl, she be in the break room and this lady is planning a baby shower for you. And she's planning this baby shower at her house. And girl, even if you do decide to, you'd be like, okay, yeah, we're going to do the baby shower and we're going to go there. She's like, girl, we not going there. Mary live way on the outside of town. Mary live like an hour away from here. We not driving way down there. And then all of us think it's weird because we've never seen you interact with Mary like that. Because I haven't. And I was like, tell her what? And so she was like, tell her to not plan the baby shower. If you're going to do it here. And so she said, I said that. Like, Brian was like, I suggest like, won't you do it in the break room where all of us can be here and all of us can bring her some gifts or whatever. And so she was like, girl, you don't tell me what to do with my baby. Yo, baby. Yo, baby. She said, Angel, that did something to me. She said, I think Mary is cool or whatever. She said, girl, you better watch your back. She said, something is wrong with that and you need to check that lady. You need to check that old lady and tell that old lady, like, you not coming. Like, you can have the baby shower. She was like, Angel, have the baby shower here. Have the baby shower in town. Have the baby shower in the break room. She was like, something's not right about it. And I can't put my finger on it. Something's not right about it. So I was like, okay, okay. So at this point in time, like I would say like a week or two go by, I come into work, y'all, and it's a flyer up that says baby shower this Saturday. Here's the time. And it's posted all in the break room. It's posted by the time clock because this is my first time finding out about it. It's posted at the time clock. I said, so before I get back there, Brienne meets me, like we walking Brienne going, going to her register, going to go to the podium, and I'm going to clock in. Brienne was like, so you ain't tell that lady you didn't want a baby shower? And I was like, girl, I ain't really even seen the lady. I ain't, had time to talk to her because I'm not working a full 8 hours like that. Like they giving me like little small shifts because I'm only working 5 hours because I'm on partial bed rest. So I can't work a full schedule. I had to move to part time. And so she said, she said, Angel, you need to go tell that lady. She said, because she done post a flyer. I said, a flyer of what? She said, of your baby shower that she having this weekend. So I go to the back because I was like, Brienne, you playing? She's like, Angel, I'm telling you, it's a flyer up there. It's a flyer up there with your baby shower. She said, people are trying to sell her, like, girl, we not driving way out there. We tried to sell her, like in a nice way. If you want to have a baby shower for her, have it, in the break room where all of us can come and, people can come, even if they have to work. You know what I'm saying? They could come and just bring a gift for her. You could get the cake out of the bakery. She's like, everything right here. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So she was going off on them. And I was like, she didn't plan nothing with you. See, she didn't say anything to you, nothing. I was like, no. So I get to the backyard and it's a flyer up. It's a flyer up. We're having a boy, got a little buggy on there. It's her time. It's her address on there. And it said baby shower for Angel. And I was like, when I tell y'all this lady discussed absolutely nothing with me, absolutely nothing. Nothing with me. Nothing with me. Besides her saying at this podium that was her baby, she started crying, which we all thought was weird. And like I said, I kind of just pushed it off because it was like, okay, maybe she an empty nest or whatever. But this lady discussed absolutely nothing with me. No plans, no nothing with me. So I get back there and I pull it down from the time clock. And Brianna had told me like it was inside the break room. So I go inside the break room so I could go pull it down. And she's sitting in the break room. And I said, Miss Mary, what's this? And so she was like, oh, that's the baby shower that we're having this weekend. I said, Miss Mary, when did you tell me anything about a baby shower? When did we discuss anything about a baby shower? And y'all, this lady gave me a look like, why do I need to discuss anything with you about this baby shower? And I said, when did we discuss anything about a baby shower? We haven't discussed anything about a baby shower. And I was like, my mom is giving me a baby shower. She's giving me a baby shower next month. When did we discuss anything about a baby shower? Well, I told you, like, that's my baby. And I was like, Miss Mary, you can't just claim ownership on my kid. And I was like, I really didn't think you were serious. I said, in all honesty, I said, because When did we have any kind of interaction or anything like that for me to take you seriously? I said, I really, in all honesty, I said, I really thought you was going through something else and you was kind of just, bouncing off that. You know how sometimes, like, you can watch a movie and you can get emotional from something else that you have experienced by watching a movie. I said, I honestly didn't think that you were serious. Like, I honestly didn't think you were serious. I said, because there was never any discussion after that. I said, even with you giving me like the snacks, I was like, I would thank you for the snacks, but I'm telling you, like, I've told you, like, hey, I don't really do this chips and stuff, but she kept bringing like the chips and stuff. And I didn't think, like, I already told you I wanted, so it's like I just gave it to my roommates. Nothing of it. I already told you. Like, you're not listening, which is typical old ladies. Old ladies most of the time don't listen. It's like y'all don't. It's like I don't have a brain of my own. Like, I'm telling you what it is, and you're not listening to me. So again, and I reiterated and asked, when did we discuss a baby shower? When did we discuss baby shower time, date? What would be convenient, even if you wanted to give me a baby shower? And I said, and I would be appreciative. And I said, but what would be convenient for our coworkers? And I was like, where is this? Where do you live? And so she was like, well, I live an hour out here. It's at my house. And I was like, Miss Mary, nobody's gonna drive an hour out of here. And I said, now if you want to do it, we can do it here in the break room. I'm not doing no. My baby deserves more than that. And I was like, Miss Mary, please stop saying your baby, because my son is not your baby. He's not your baby. I say, we're not close. We're not close. I was like, we speak in crossing and passing while we're here at work. I was like, we don't know anything about each other. We know absolutely nothing about each other. We've had a few conversations and a few laughs, but we don't know nothing about each other to the extent of where you feel like you should be calling my son your baby. And I was like, I'm a little confused on what we're talking about here. And I was like, so again, it's not that I'm not appreciative, but there was no discussion of the baby shower. You want, like the time, if I'm available. I was like, you don't even know if I'm working. You don't even know if I'm gonna be here. I was like, matter of fact, go look at the schedule. And I said, the time you have the baby shower scheduled, I'm at work. And so she go look at the schedule. She was like, oh. I was like, so how you gonna have a baby shower for my baby and I'm at work? So I was like, so I'm not gonna be at the baby shower. And so she was like, well, I didn't I don't know. I don't and I don't know. I don't, like, y'all, honestly. And I was like, yeah. I say, so you want to move the baby shower to the break room where everybody can take a part on Saturday? And I said, and then, I'm here so I can come back here while the baby shower is going on like my little break or whatever. Cause all I get is 2 breaks. Cause I'm not working full time. I'm working part time now. So all I get is 2 breaks. I can come back on my break and wave, thank the people, and then go back to my register. Like, if that's what you want to do, since you done put up these flyers and stuff that you had going on about a baby shower that we did not discuss, or you can have conversations with me and I can relay conversations between you and my mom, and you and my mom can combine both baby showers, and where that's where the everybody can either they can drop by and it's in town and they can come to the baby shower. No. I said, okay. So she was like, so no, I'm just not gonna do the baby shower. I'm just I don't I just bought all this food. I got all this stuff together. I have everything planned for Saturday, and I just don't understand. So a lot of y'all are just unappreciative. You're just ungrateful. So the flyer in the break room, she go up to it and she snatch it down. She walks out. So I'm standing there, like, am I in the twilight zone? Like, you planning the baby shower without even talking to me for my baby, and I'm gonna be at work. Huh? Huh? So I go to the floor, and so Brienne comes to my register, and Brienne was like, "Girl, did you talk to her?" Because she was like, "You must be had to talk to her because she over there crying over there, you know, saying how she can't have the baby shower no more. You told her like, you know, now she don't know what to do with all this food that she got set up and all this food that she done ordered." And so one of the CSMs I almost called, I already called her name. I'm not gonna say who it was. One of the CSMs was saying, "Well, how you plan a baby shower without even talking to the girl? How you plan a baby? How you order food? How you did all this stuff?" And the girl on the schedule to be the worker here. Like, you don't think that's weird, Mary? Like, you don't think that's weird? They said she walked off and went to her register. After that, y'all, Miss Mary didn't even talk to me. She wasn't even cordial no more. She wasn't even cordial anymore. So Brienne was like, I ain't even gonna front. She was like, all that was giving weird. I didn't want her to even be around your baby. Like, it was just crazy. It was crazy. Right? All right. So go back to the day where I am working, had my and was having my contractions. Right? Having contractions while I'm working. And so the lady was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." She was like, "You having contractions?" Because like she got a newborn with like 2-3 months. You could tell like she just had her baby. And so it was a Caucasian lady. She was like, "You are having contractions." She was like, "Should I say something? Should I say something?" I said, "Mm-mm, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." Like, I'm working through it. I promise you, I'm working through it. And so one of the managers had come over because, like, I don't know if she had caught it and I wasn't paying attention because I kind of, pushed it through the contractions. So she was like, "Are you having a contraction?" And came and turned off my light. Came and turned off my light. One of the CSMs. I was like, she was like, "I saw you. I saw you. I saw how you kind of rushed." She was like, "Oh no. Oh no." So they called Busy Bee. Call Busy Bee. Busy Bee come rushing in. "Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh, we gotta go. Oh, we gotta go." She coming there. When I tell you that fool is not the person to call when it's because she spaz. She is not calm. So she coming in. "Oh, we gotta go. We got child. They don't put me in a wheelchair, wheeling me out to the car. Get to the car, rush me to the hospital." And then she was like, "Oh, we gotta go. The baby coming. The baby coming." And I was like, "The baby is not coming." She was like, "You have a contraction. No, you gotta go. We gotta go." "Oh, we gotta go." We get to the hospital, and I was having contractions, but it was because I was dehydrated. And so it was like, so my midwife, when she walked in, she said, "I told you if I saw you one more time." And I was like, "I'm just dehydrated. I just need to drink more water." During the time where I was like, time for me to, go to work. Around the time to go to work, because I need to work. I was like, "You already cut my hours." She's like, "That baby is the most important thing. Full bed rest." So now I'm stressed because I need my money, girl. I pay rent. Like, I'm one of the people who pay rent in this house. I gotta pay my bills. I gotta pay the utility. That's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta work, babe. What we talking about? I gotta work. I gotta work. So she put me on full bed rest. So I'm sitting there. Excuse me. While I'm sitting there, and Busy Bee with me, she was like, "Girl, what you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know." And so she was like, "Well, this would be a good time to tell you anyway. Like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the city. I'm contemplating getting another job to leave the city. So, what you want to do?" So it kind of worked out. But anyway, once we got home, I was telling her how Mary had already planned the baby shower and how the baby shower was Saturday. So she was like, "Don't you work Saturday?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm supposed to work Saturday," which I did. I went to work. I worked out my schedule to get that last bit of money. And so she was like, "Don't you work Saturday?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, How is she having a baby shower? Wait, when did y'all discuss the baby shower?" I said, "We never did." It's like, right. I was like, she had this baby shower plan. I was like, Brienne told me about the flyer. I said, girl, she had the flyer in the break room and by the time clock. She said, Angel. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Because we were never cool like that. So I don't understand. Like, it was always in passing. I don't know. I don't know. And I was like, but once I told her, like, you can, collab with my mom with the baby, to have the baby shower or, move the baby shower in the break room. I said, girl, she did not want to move it in the break room. She wanted it to be in her house. And I was like, and then I didn't even know about the baby shower. She said, Angel, that's weird. I said, very weird. Very weird. Yeah, girl. So after that, I wouldn't, after I worked out my schedule, I barely saw her. I think I saw her like one time. And at that one time that I saw Miss Mary, she barely spoke. She acted like she had never met me before in her life. I don't know. It was giving weird. Everybody was like, it's giving weird. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yep, I got put on full bed rest. Busy Bee was leaving the city, so we all end up dispersing. I end up moving out and going back to my mama's house, and Busy Bee went to a whole nother state. And Olivia, I don't even know where Olivia went. What my business? And that is the story time of the baby shower. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one on some lifetime. Bye. It's probably gonna pick up the heater. If it pick up the heater last time, sorry. It sounded like my voice was acting crazy. That's crazy. My gap got bigger. That's crazy. I used to have a gap when I was smaller, and then it closed, and then once I got these two wisdom teeth removed, it was like surprise, surprise. I think I'm gonna move this mic. This is bothering me, and I was trying to keep it somewhere where it didn't pick up the heater, but I think it's gonna pick up the heater regardless. Let me see about laying down over here. Hopefully y'all can hear me, and hopefully it picks up. We'll see. I'm gonna have to adjust. I need the heater to flow. I don't know why. In any other story times, the heater is on the floor. Let me see. I ain't turning my heat off, y'all. It's cold. It's 27, 26 degrees. Hopefully it's not picking up too bad.